quite unbelievable, because I thought Suriname is surely the breadbasket for the whole Caribbean. It could feed the whole Caribbean with its land masses, its fertility, its rainfall, its water content, etc., etc. And this is going to be an important thing.
Wat goed is te betrachten, dat geeft aan ons land waarde.
I think that if you look at the output of the refinery, okay, currently how much barrels of oil Suriname is using a day, because that is the most important one. I think that if you count up everything that Suriname is using, we are not reaching the 16 to 17,000 barrels a day that we are currently producing in crude. So we are selling the oil, most of it outside, and we are selling some of the oil in Suriname. Now with the new refinery, we will also make Euro-spec diesel, around 8,000 barrels on a daily basis. And Suriname is using now, including the gold fields, around 4,000 to 5,000 barrels. So we will have an excess of around 3,000 barrels a day. But since it is Euro-spec, and since it is it's very scarce in this region, and the French islands, they really have to use European spec diesel, we will be able to sell it to the French island, but also islands like Barbados are very interested in the excess capacity that we have on diesel. Then we have the second, the fuel oil. The fuel oil, we will be self-sufficient. That means we will have the fuel oil to fuel and to bunker the ships that pass by. We have the fuel oil to deliver to EBS to make power of the fuel oil, and of course for our own electricity company. So for fuel oil, we will be more or less unequal. For gasoline, we will have a shortage because nowadays Suriname is using around 3,500 to 4,000 barrels on a daily basis on gasoline, and we will produce 2,500 barrels on a daily basis. So we will always have to import some of the gasoline in order to fulfill the requirement. But then we will also export a lot of diesel, so that will be, yeah, that will be kind of a trade-off, yes. But that answers your question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because my next question would be, are there any plans? But you already tell me that it will be beautiful. It will. You have your export countries already
Yes.
identified.
Correct.
So
We
Suriname
should.
will benefit very well out of,
Yeah.
more, even not
Yes.
more out of the. So you build this nice refinery now.
Yeah.
Build this refinery, give us enough gasoline. Is the refinery, is the gasoline refinery?
Gasoline and diesel.
Diesel.
Yeah.
So you say,
And bitumen.
yes, you just said 3,000 barrels a day that what we have in Suriname, but use in Suriname.
We use around between 3.5 and 4,000 barrels of gasoline.
Gasoline. But can the refinery now give us the gasoline?
No, we will only be able to produce 2,500 barrels of gasoline on a daily basis, not more.
So we still have to import.
We still have to import around 1,000 barrels on a daily basis. When the Wageningen project is finished, we hope that at least 20% of the ethanol will be added to the gasoline, meaning that the 2,500 barrels plus 20% is 3,000 barrels. So then the deficit will even be smaller.
So that means you have to put a lot of trust in the Wageningen project?
Yes, the Wageningen project is, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful projects that we do.
Okay.
Not only for Staatsolie, but for Wageningen, for Nikeri, for the country. We will make an excess of 14 megawatt of electricity. So it will also attract a lot of industry in the neighborhood. It would be great for Nikeri.
And it's great for the country.
Yes.
But can we export this type of energy?
The ethanol, yes.
Ethanol?
Yes.
And do you already identify export
Yes,
markets?
of course. I mean, Europe is happily to use our ethanol because ethanol, if you add it to the gasoline becomes a lot healthier. So especially in the big cities like Paris and Amsterdam and Berlin, you have so many cars that you want to use healthier gasoline. And ethanol is very healthy. I mean, if you ever been to Sao Paulo, you see so many cars, but you don't smell any of the bad smell that you smell in the normal big cities of Europe. So they are very eager to use our ethanol because we are also producing it in a green way. So we are producing it CO2 positive.
Do you feel that the SURIMEP conference will benefit your company in order of doing business, or people want to do business with you? Will you benefit? Will your company benefit from the SURIMEP conference?
Most probably yes. You never know, of course, but it's exactly what Mr. Jim Hock said. When you hear about Suriname and the possibilities, when you are in London or when we are in Houston or when we are in Moscow, you cannot envision exactly what it is because Suriname is too small to be known to a lot of people. But when the people come here, and this is the first time that the people come here, I mean, if we do this again 2 years from now and then we do it on a consecutive basis, more and more people will come. And people who come to Suriname, I mean, they see how friendly our country is and how good the government is in making multinationals and investors feeling home. I mean, we are good partners as a government. We are also good partners as Staatsolie for the companies that want to invest in Suriname. So I think this is a great idea.
You can bring in investors into agriculture who can help people, outgrowers, support the agriculture project that they're doing, and they become the farmers. And then they basically take over the process. Then they add value to their product, and then they need to go into export. International people who come in to work in agriculture generally focus on export as well as things. You need to be self-sufficient, but at the same time you've got to look to the export. That's why you're adding value. That's local content. Fishing, as I've been saying, canning, processing, freezing, shipping, the market's there. There's a shortage of fish around the world. We just need to be processed and manage it. So I don't see a problem. The train has not left the station. I will think the train's parked there. It's starting up. It's about to move out, and it's the time that the government, the Chamber of Commerce, and everybody put their heads together to say, how do they want this to roll, and which direction do they want to take it? But they all have to climb on the train together.
Very good. I hope maybe they can ask you for some support sometime. What are your feelings about SURIMEP? What do you think SURIMEP will mean in perspective of what you have taught yesterday to your people there? What do you think SURIMEP will do for Suriname?
I'm pleasantly surprised by Suriname. And I mean, I lived in Guyana, as I said, for 4 years, and so I come in here and I see it's much more developed than I had expected. I find everybody's so friendly and so helpful. I've been in and out of shops, I've been everywhere, everybody's so helpful. I think that Suriname can make itself into a very simple, very well-run economy. No problem. It's important that everybody benefits out of this. Instead of creating an elite, right, we must have, all boats must rise on this boat. So Suriname, from my point of view, has all the advantages it needs to do. It has a relatively good educational history, right, in that bosom. 98%, 99% literacy. This is very, very good. You have a young workforce, right, and you have a great country. I come from Sierra Leone. It's the exact same climate as yours, the exact same soil sources, exact same everything. And we are now learning that lesson very, very quickly. Our government is more difficult, I think, than yours. We have 6 million there, right? And it's more difficult to get everybody around the table. But here it would be an easier process.
Well, we've had a great journey, and you're absolutely right. Our vision of zero harm is part of our DNA. We live and we breathe it because our ultimate vision, our responsibility is to all of our stakeholders, our employees, making sure that they go home safely at night, to people who live in the community around our mine, to people of Suriname. So it is more than a vision, it's a reality. And every year we check ourselves to see if we made the progress that we set out to make. And if we haven't made it, we do things to improve it. And we celebrate our success too. We make sure that people who are with our company and work with our company, are involved with our company, are part of that success and that celebration. So it's been a great journey. It never ends. You're always continuously improving because you always can do better.
That is true. Your literature also tells us that you take your corporate responsibility very seriously, and your commitment to strive to reach the highest standards and safety, managing the environment and working cooperatively with communities is irrevocable. Are you satisfied how this commitment is being translated in reality to your operations in Suriname?
Suriname is a flagship mine for us. We hold up Suriname as an example of excellence. And you may not know this, but many people come to visit Suriname and Rosabelle to see our operation because they want to see excellence. So Rosabelle has been a standard of excellence for us. Many of our other employees come to visit Rosabelle. People that are looking at investing in Suriname come to Rosabelle. So we hold it up as a standard of a great operation. You can never be the best of the best without working hard at it, and we want to be the best of the best, and our people are committed to that. So we're very proud of Rosabelle. We're very proud of the accomplishments, and as I said earlier, you never stop improving. You always believe that you can continue to improve. So we're on that journey. We're seeing some great success, and so I'm very, very pleased with it.
Knowing that you've been to several conferences probably all over the world.
Right.
What do you think SURIMEP will be the impact? What will be the impact of SURIMEP be for Suriname?
I think this is a great idea. Actually, I have to be honest, when I heard it was the first conference that they had, I was surprised because, this has been a great mining community for many years. So I love what's set up here. It's a great demonstration of the type of businesses that are here. And I think it's great for people in the country to come and see, gee, look what we've been able to do. Look at all the businesses that are linked into this mine. And Richard, who's here with me, is in charge of our procurement. And you saw part of Sharmila's presentation. We buy a lot of our goods here in Suriname, and we work really hard to buy locally. So there's a domino effect. When we earn $1 and spend $1, it has a great benefit to the community and to the country at large. So this conference is a demonstration of how that works. You've got all the services here. You have the equipment companies. You have the restaurants. You know, we're hosting a lunch today. Somebody in Suriname made that, and we're going to have Surinamese food, and we're going to have a toast with some local wines, and we're going to celebrate our success here in Suriname.
Okay, yeah, it's a very good question, of course, but let's back up a little. We've been exploring in offshore Suriname for the last, I would say, 50 years. Companies like Shell and ELF, they were attracted to this area because of the vicinity we have. We're neighboring basically from a broad perspective with Venezuela, but also with Trinidad, and they have a very long history of oil exploring and production. We had a very long time of incidental exploration campaigns during the last 50 years. But in 2000, Staatsoli, I would say, reinvented its role as regulator in Suriname, and we decided then to go to the market and try to attract companies to come and explore in offshore Suriname. So we started basically in 2001. First we basically got all the data we had available in Suriname together and started a very modest interpretation of the information. As you put it rightly, we're embarking again on a drilling campaign. And in the past, we pretty much relied on the facilities and the programs the companies had in place because we had different exploration drilling in offshore Suriname. We have about 25 offshore wells right now. And the last campaign was before the Macondo incident. And if it can happen to BP, it can happen to anybody. So the world has changed dramatically because of this incident. It's almost normal practice that the industry takes a step back and looks at the environment and what procedures do we have in place so that we have a clean and safe operation, because I don't want to call anybody's mother or husband to tell them, listen, he cannot come back because during his job he lost. Also the environment, we are reliable for fishing, tourism, and if an incident would happen, then it would not only, as we saw in Macondo, be isolated to Suriname, but all models show that it will end up in Trinidad and even further than that. So what have we done? It's a bit of a long introduction, but to put things in perspective. There is an environmental impact assessment that needs to be done and approved by NIMOS. NIMOS is the national authority in Suriname. We started preparing to gather data April last year to see how are the corals behaving. We already had a lot of information on the environment, the fish and the marine mammals that live in our waters, or we can spot in our waters. The next thing we did is we put together a group of what we call stakeholders, consisting of the Ministry of Labor, the NCCR, the National Disaster Committee. We have people from NIMOS, people from the Coast Guard, and we have come up with a plan to have a national oil spill contingency plan for Suriname. Where we are right now is that we have a first draft. Staatsoli will not be the owner of that document, but we feel that we, as a responsible citizen, need to help prepare the government there. So hopefully we'll go through the process, and according to our planning, we'll have that ready by November of this year. A third thing that we did is that we saw that Suriname is one of the few countries in the region that has not ratified the Cartagena Convention, and since the Ministry of Labor, ATM, Labor and Technology and the Environment is the focal point, they have started the process they have not started. They're trying to continue, finalize the process that this piece of international legislation where it's basically mandating countries and states within the Caribbean region to work together, in case of an oil spill, to help each other, to notify each other so that we can take precautions, that this thing goes through Parliament. So the Council of Ministers has already approved it. I think it's now with the State Council, and hopefully we can, before April next year, have it approved by Parliament. And the fourth thing is that the operators, through a production sharing contract, we exclusively transfer the rights. So according to the contract, they have to abide like any good citizen, prudent operator. And one of the things that we have put in place is what we call a BOP, blowout preventer, which is now situated in Rio. It's a special device that would assist in case there is a blowout. Of course, you do everything to prevent one, but just in case there's a blowout, then this big piece of machinery can basically close down the well. And I think in March of this year, the equipment is now available, so we know how long it will take if something happens to ship or fly it to Paramaribo. So these are the 4 measures that we have taken into place, and we are of course quite confident that we won't have a spill. But in case there is one, we've taken all international measures to prevent it and clean up. There's definitely benefits. I think the exhibition gives Suriname an opportunity to get the industries together and have direct contact with different suppliers, especially the surface industry. So yes, it's a good event. It also gives, we can showcase Suriname in a very positive way.
You already have been to other conferences on
there is the Chamber of Commerce in Trinidad. They put on a show in every January, February. It has grown, but the industry in Trinidad is more than 100 years old. So yes, of course, they're much further. And they gradually also build on. I would say that for the first time, and with the time allotted, and with all the competition, that Suriname put a very prestigious event. Absolutely, the way the quality of the booths, you see that people have put a lot of work and energy into it. So yes.
Thank you.